welcome to the show tonight. We've got a lot going on tonight. Of course, we are talking about our block along, and I left my notes over at your desk, I think, in my little book. Do you have my little book, or are you using it? This is the way things are going tonight. Hopefully you can hear me. I do have my audio going again, but you guys know this has been kind of kooky lately. I don't know what's going on. So anyways, I was working on a special surprise for you guys today, and then it kind of backed away, and I'm having to back it up to next week. So you're going to want to be here next week for my little special surprise for you. So stay tuned. Also, I'm sure you guys want a quick update on my dad. I had shared some of that information last week that he had some spots showing up that were cancerous. We went to his doctor last week. I'm going back Monday so that I can go with him to his first oncologist visit. So please be in prayer for him on Monday. His spirits are pretty good, and so are mine. So we're gonna go tackle this thing next week. Also, I don't know about you, but quilters historically constantly have some kind of back or neck or shoulder or arm or wrist pain. It's the injuries of the occupation, right? And if we're going to have fun, we're going to be sore. And so I've been having a pinched nerve thing going on. And I told my husband, and I know we've been working out, which I thought, well, is that contributing to this problem? I don't think so. I think it's just what we do. So I've been having tingling in my shoulder. It's been running into my hand. This hand's been numb. It's just been a mess. And so I decided I need to go to the chiropractor, which I decided to go to John's chiropractor, which did not show up very well for me this week. And so I ended up changing, and I went this morning. And I think I'm going to be on the road to recovery. So I'm a big believer in taking care of those things and not letting them go. So please be thinking of me as I continue to try to get my shoulders and my arms and my hands feeling better again. Okay. I was going to tell you too, my friend Kara and Krista, my friends Kara and Krista, they got their long arm installed yesterday. I went out to Beggs, Oklahoma to see them get their new long arm installed. It was so much fun. And, I don't care how many times you get trained. It seems like even though you got trained the first time, you learn new things the second time around, which is awesome. So I did learn some new things, even though I'd already been trained. I was listening to their training again. I don't think you can get enough training anytime. So, John, I know that you had mentioned there was a question about something that we had mentioned on the podcast, something about fullness in the borders.
Yeah, in the podcast, she'll talk about fullness in the border. What does that mean?
Okay, so it just means, sometimes our borders, if you like pre-cut your borders, which there's nothing wrong with that, to be exactly the way it's supposed to be according to the pattern, sometimes during the piecing process, your center gets a little smaller than what it's intended to be. And then when you go to piece your border and you start and you pin at the beginning and the end and you work in the fullness of the borders, sometimes you end up with a larger border than what you should have based on the size of your new quilt center. So sometimes it's really a good idea to go ahead and measure your inside parts first and then cut your borders according to the size of your new center. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. But if you don't, and there's fuller borders out on the sides of your quilt, it makes it a little harder to quilt. We can still do it. It just makes it a little harder. So that's the answer to that. Any other questions in there before we get going? Okay, you guys, last week I talked about what a nightmare the bows were. And it was not, it wasn't the bows problem. It was the Leslie problem. I told you don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive your sewing machine. Don't party with your friends while you're trying to sew and get distracted. Anytime you're trying to retreat, don't do that. If you're going to be distracted, don't do that, and don't stay up too late and think you're going to be smart enough to do the things you need to do, because you're not. or maybe you are. Maybe you're better than me, which most people probably are. So, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Oh my gosh, I almost spilled my water. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you guys tonight. And John, can you hit example? Before we get started, I'm going to show you a couple of things real quick because I feel like this is, I got to go this way. This is how I started laying these out because I had so many problems with my bows because I did not lay things out correctly ahead of time. This way, you're able to actually see, do I have the right pieces in order the way they need to be so that I end up with the right fabrics in the right place. And so I'm going to show you a little more of that tonight. You'll see this on the table when we get started, but I'm going to start stitching. So if you guys are good with that, so remember, also, you can take that down and go just front camera. Thanks. Good job, producer John. One of the things that I think is important, first of all, in the chat at 6:30, a lot of people are joining us early, and I think that's lovely and fun and wonderful. I was jotting down some of the names that I always see, and I love that, like Krista, Melissa, and Deb, and Julie. You guys are always like coming in, and I know I'm probably missing a few, but we have a great time chit-chatting. We get to know each other, and it's a lot of fun. But one of the things that, keeps coming up is I might be behind. I haven't starched yet, or I just starched, so I feel like I'm behind. You guys, this is not my suggested order on that calendar, like week 1, week 2. This is just honestly for me to stay organized. You get the benefit of trying to do the same thing so that each week we can sew along at the same time, but you don't have to be doing exactly what I'm doing when I do it. So please don't feel like frustrated or behind because you're not on the week that's on the schedule. Who cares? Like this is just your quilt. You get to do whatever you want. If you get all the way through, you watch all these videos and you haven't even started, that's okay too. Who cares? You'll get started when you're ready. You've got other things going on. People work, people have family, people are doing things, and you guys, I get it. So I just want you to know there is no shame in that. I have zero problems with any of that. John, you got a question?
Yeah, where did you get the pink cutting mat?
Pink cutting mat. This is a Lori Holt cutting mat, and it is from Fat Quarter Shop. I don't know if she still carries this pink one. Sometimes she changes the colors of her cutting mats. I love Lori Holt's cutting mats because I just do. They're pretty, to be honest. Now, if I'm being honest, some of her more recent ones will actually have the yard markings. Actually, I think they all do. Yeah. So they'll have like a half yard. So you'll know it'll have 3/4 yard, 7/8 of a yard, 5/8 of a yard. Nobody wants to have to sit there and think about that. Just cut away. And so that's why I do really like her cutting mats for that reason.
Why do some fabrics take the starch better than others, or am I not getting consistent coverage?
Oh, that's a good question. So John was asking about starching and some fabrics taking starch better than others. I'll be honest with you. I think that most fabric, if you're trying to get a heavy starching like I do, I drench it. So you may just not be getting enough on your fabric to make it really nice and stiff. I would make sure it's really soaked. But secondly, I think there are some fabrics that just don't soak it in the way like 100% cottons do. I think I don't starch, like for example, I won't starch batiks for that reason. I think batiks already have somewhat of a stiffness to them when they're printed. So I don't really starch those. I don't find that starch really works well with those. But most 100% cotton, I think it could be just make sure you're really getting it covered and drenched. It should really be soaked. So, okay, I'm going to get started.
Do you starch flannel?
I do not starch flannel. No, or minky or anything like that. I'm 100% cotton girl. Get starched. I don't really sew with like polyester fabrics at all. It's all 100% quilter's cotton that I use to do all of my piecing. So, okay, I'm going to get started. John will collect questions, and then after I get this block done, you can throw questions in the chat, and we're going to get moving. So, John, you want to give me the overhead? Yeah. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. So I've already kind of got a couple of blocks going because I might just sew a little longer tonight. But here you can see I've kind of laid out the way this is going to look. So here's your bow. This is what you would have completed last week. And then this is going to be the box part. And so you're going to end up you're going to have snowball edges on these. So those flipped corners. And then you're going to have basically flipped corners on each side of that middle part. You'll have flip corners here. So a lot of flip corners. So this Doug Lico simple corners ruler, folded corners ruler is going to be your buddy in this, because I was able to actually work through this entire stack, which is this piece right here. I was able to do that pretty quick. So what I did was just stack them all up, and I started cutting. I just used my ruler and then I pinned it one time, and you'll kind of see that here. So I'm going to show you on this section. Actually, I've got a couple of them ready. This one was already stitched. I've got the stitch ready to put together, but this one is not stitched and ready. I have this one done, but this one I just used my simple folded corners ruler to do this, and I stick a pin there just to hold that in place before I stitch. And then you're going to see these are all that way. So I've got a little pin holding these in place. And so I did that whole thing with these pieces. Once I cut them, I had them ready to go. I put a pin in each side, and then I went to town. I just chain pieced them all. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to stitch a little bit. And if you've got questions, you can throw those in the chat. Oh, I love my little Juki. And by the way, I keep getting asked questions about my Juki. This one is a 2010Q. I got it from Juki Junkies online. They are fantastic, fantastic, fantastic people. I love, love, love them. So if you're interested, I do have a link to them in my Instagram link tree in my bio. Tell them I sent you over there, because they're fantastic. They do lots of training videos too on how to work your machine, how to feed it, how to thread it, all the things. Okay, so I just sewed those two side pieces right there. And now what we're going to do, we're going to take this middle piece and I'm going to sew that simple folded corner there. And I open my seams. I'm pressing open, and you'll see that here in a minute when I start putting this whole thing together. Okay, I'm going to show you here how I do this simple folded. We did this last week, if you recall. But we take that simple folded corners ruler, and we go to that first dark line, so it creates that corner, and we're going to snip that corner off with our rotary cutter. And I've got a fresh blade. Y'all, is there anything like a fresh blade? Oh. And I'm going to stick a pin in that so that does not shift around as I'm trying to move it under my foot.
You get accuracy with the corner clipper ruler.
I get on a corner clip. What? Say that again.
Corner clipper ruler.
I get accurate. I get a lot of accuracy with doing it this method, if that's the question. You can do it however you want. If you want to give me the front camera. I don't know if you want to give me the front camera or not. You can do it however you want. I like doing it this way. I like, because I feel like it saves me time than having to go back and cut everything. Otherwise, you're drawing diagonals on it. You can do it that way. It's whatever works for you, honestly. So if it's easier for you to draw your diagonal on that small corner and then snip it off, you can totally do that. There's no shame in that. You can totally do it that way.
What's your stitch length on that?
My stitch length is a 1.8. I think that's where my sweet spot is when it comes to piecing. I drop it when I'm doing foundation paper piecing to about a 1.3-ish. So I'm going to press that down a little more because I like my seams flat. Okay, so now you can kind of see this is ready to piece together. This will go here. These will go here. So we're going to start stitching. again. And, you know, Halloween is coming up. I decorated for you guys. I don't know if you can see my decorations in here or not tonight, but I have my little skeleton machine, my sewing machine up there that my friend Bethany from Caterpillar, she made me jelly, and I had to buy one myself because it's so cute.
Would you research the fabric if it doesn't seem stiff enough after round one?
Yep. If it's not stiff enough, I definitely would restarch it. I'd put more starch on it and I'd go again. Okay, I'll show you one of my mistakes I made. You're going to make it if you don't lay out your fabrics this way ahead of time. I was up late. This is another thing. I was up late and I was long arming. And when you long arm and you're sewing, and I'm listening for my long arm, making sure it's doing the right things it's supposed to do, all the things, I wasn't really paying attention to my sewing as closely. And I was piecing these blocks here. And I'm going to show you right here. If you forget to put this part on, and these are the G pieces, it will look like that instead. And you'll go, wait a minute, I thought it was supposed to be a really cute bow. Now, there's nothing wrong with this bow, but it's not right. You can totally leave it that way, but it's supposed to look like that. And so if you start noticing that you've got square ribbons at the end, then you're missing your G pieces on your A piece, if that makes sense. So we're going to stitch this down. Any other questions coming in yet? Okay. Yeah, I love this Juki. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, I had the craziest thing happen with one of my quilts I was working on, and I felt like my tension wasn't right. And you guys, if you're a long armor, you'll know what I'm talking about. But sometimes there'll be a design that just doesn't work as well with what you're trying to do, and oh my gosh, the tension will feel like it'll feel like it's wrong, but it's not wrong. It's a bobbin thing, or you've got a lint somewhere, or your design's too swirly and your stitches are too long, so you have to shorten your stitches. Like it's maddening to figure out. So if you're not a long armor and you send your things to a long armor, thank them, because because they're working hard, and it's not as simple as just loading a quilt to a frame and being done with it. Okay.
Press seams open.
Okay, so you can do whatever you want. I'm going to show you if you can see this. Maybe I'll hold this up. Yeah, I heard you. So I pressed my seams open on my snowballs, but when I attached my edges, I just pressed out and down. So I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but it doesn't matter. I could press them open, it'd be fine. I could press these open. I just think they lay nicer like that. So that's how I did it. You're welcome to do it however you want. Okay, now we're going to put these edges. Can you show me yeah. Now we're going to put the sides. We're going to attach those, and I would pin just to make sure that they don't wiggle around. I pin at the very beginning, and I pin at the very end. We're going to stitch that on. And my sweet little Julia, my daughter, her and her friends, they came over and finished their quilt. Well, Mackenzie finished her quilt. Julia may be quilting until next Christmas. Who knows? I don't know if she's listening. She's probably not listening, so I can talk about her. She has spent pretty much 6 weeks cutting her quilt out. Now, granted, it is a queen size quilt, so I'm not judging her, but she needs to get moving. Now, last week she did start stitching and she got a lot of half square triangles made, and I was really proud of her. But she gotta, if she's gonna get that thing done by Christmas, she's gonna need to pick up the pace. All right. Okay. You can show the table. Close. Close. Hit one. Toggle. Good job, producer John. Okay, and here again, I'm going to press these seams out. Just because I just think they lay better that way. That's just my personal opinion. You can do it however you want. And look how pretty that is. And so now all we're going to do is attach our bow.
You prefer pinning or clips?
I think it depends. I like pinning when it's like small piecing. But clips, I like when it's like longer, like if I'm attaching a border or something like that, I will prefer using clips. That's a good question. And if you're asking what kind of pins, I don't care what the brand is, honestly. I like magic pins a lot. I'm not using them tonight. These are, I can see their little logo, but I don't remember the name of them. They're glass head. I like anything glass head, heat resistant, because if I leave something in and I'm going to iron it, I don't want it melting and I don't want it causing a problem on my iron. Okay. Oh, they're Little House pins. Little House. Now, this one, you know, this one is subjective. I probably will open that seam up for this one just because I think it'll lay nicer. We'll see. Let's press it and we'll see how it lays. And I'm talking about after you touch the bow. Now, of course, I think if I had my acorn spray, it would probably lay flatter. It's not bad. I mean, that's not bad. But I might get a little bit obsessive about this and want to open it up, but I don't think I have my acorn in here. Let's see what happens without it. It is heavily starched, but I didn't bring my acorn spray in here tonight. I left it behind. I think I'm going to like that attachment better as a open press. Yeah, that looks better to me. So I would, you know, press out. I would press out everything except that seam. I would press that open just because I think it lays nicer.
Okay. Trouble with your tension on your Juki?
Never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, ever. Oh, sorry. Repeat the question. Do I ever have tension problems on my Juki? No, like not ever. If there is a tension issue, it has to do with me usually. Bobbins. So, I mean, I can do it real quick. You want to give me a...
She may have adjusted the bottom too much, but she's working correctly.
Who it? Say that again? Somebody adjusted the bobbin too much? Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull my bobbin out. Can you give me a front screen? Okay. If you have a Juki, or if you're going to buy a Juki, I'm going to tell you a couple of things. First of all, they're mechanical. It's a mechanical machine. It is not a computerized machine, which is a real bonus for you, for those of us who get really tired of computerized machines that don't give us what we want. It is only a straight stitch, but if you're a quilter like me, most of the time you're going to piece with a straight stitch. So that's what I love about my Juki. It's a straight stitch. Now, Juki makes other machines that are computerized that give you zigzags and designed stitches or whatever, but I love having complete control over my Juki because it is just a straight stitch, and pretty much all I'm controlling in that point is the stitch length. Once you set your tension, you should not have to adjust your tension ever. Like, because most of us use the same thread. Now, if you use a different thread, Now I had Glide in here last week. It is a slick polyester thread. It just behaves differently. So it's going to feel different in your bobbin case. So like tonight, I just double checked my tension on my Juki to make sure that everything was stitching okay, because I switched out, and they come with metal bobbins. So a Juki is going to have a metal bobbin. Like, can you want to give me maybe an overhead shot? I'll stand up and do this. So they come with these metal bobbins. And most of the computerized bobbins, when you're putting them in, you're going to put them in and it's going to look like a P. When you put that thread back, it's going to look like a P. But with a Juki, it's going to be a Q. Think Q for quilting. Q for quilting. And then your case, you're going to put that in just like so, and there's a ridge on the side, and you just run your thread up into that ridge till it catches. The biggest way to test your tension on a Juki is to lay it in the palm of your hand and take that thread and pull it up. And if you can do it like this, now don't do it like what I just did because I pulled mine completely out. But if you can kind of just tug on your thread and it just slowly goes down and doesn't go whoosh down, if it goes whoosh down, it is way too loose. Okay. But if you can pull it up like this and you can just pull it a little bit and it keeps pulling, your tension's good. So I never have problems with my tension. Can you go front screen again? I'm going to pull my thread out here. But I think Jukis are amazing. I love them. And one of the other things about Juki, when you put these in your mechanical, when you stick your bobbin in, you want to hear it click. I don't know if you'll hear it click. I'll put my mic down. Did you hear that? Hopefully you heard that. But you want to hear it click into the machine. Otherwise, it's not sitting right. So those are some of my, whoops, there we go. Those are some of my tips for if you get a Juki. Like I said, if you don't have a Juki, you should get one from my friends at Juki Junkies. And David has tons and tons of videos on how to clean them, how to maintain them, how to set your tension, how to adjust your tension if you need to. It's not necessary ever, really. I mean, once you set it, it's like set it and forget it. Just stitch. It's wonderful. The only thing you have to do is drop some oil in it and keep it clean. That's the biggies. Any other questions? I feel like I just did a big old Juki tutorial. So should we stitch one more? Vote in the chat if we want to stitch one more block like this, or if you feel like you got it. And then I'll do whatever you want. What's it looking like, John? You can tell me. I will do whatever you guys want. We can sew one more block if you feel like you want to see that one more time. Because those others, it's just, I've already put the corners on, so we can just stitch it together if you want, or we can move on. I saw somebody the other day, I was watching a handy quilter video. I don't remember which teacher it was, but she was saying, like, somebody was saying, you talk to us like we're kindergartners. And man, I hope I don't do that, because I remember there was a lady at my previous place that I worked at. One-to-one. Some want it, some don't. Somebody's have to break a tie soon. But she talked like to everybody like they were kindergartners, and I was just swore. I'm waiting for, as my friend Jeannie puts it, for them to pull out the crayons and the finger puppets like at any moment, and it always just kind of drove me nuts. So, how are we looking? Everybody got it? Okay, good. All right, so isn't this beautiful? So your homework is going to be to finish all of these. You don't have to get crazy and start trying to do the triangles, but if you want to, you can. But next week, we'll be doing the triangles that sets them on the little wonky, which I'm super excited about that because I think it's so fun. Anyways, okay. I do have one quick surprise. I was feeling it last week after we all talked, and I was like, oh, this could be a whole nother thing. You don't have to just make Christmas presents. You could make whatever you want. John, can you hand me that block that's to your left? Yep. Thank you. So look what I made. I couldn't stand it. I needed to make like one that wasn't Christmas out of some of that Tula fabric. And I think these are so stinking cute. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. So anyway, if you're feeling it like I was, feel free to go grab your stash and make some fun like birthday ones, because I think, oh my gosh, I know a precious little 5-year-old that will be 6 in January. And I'm thinking this would be right up her alley. What do you think, Papa? Okay.
A little glitter on or something.
A little, maybe I'll quilt it with like metallic thread or something glow in the dark thread. Oh my gosh, now I'm like, the mind is like wheeling. Okay, one more quick thing I wanted to show you guys before I move on to slideshow. Can you give me the overhead again? Sorry, I feel like I've made you do some crazy stuff tonight. These are my friend Belle Bruner's clips. I don't know if I showed these to you yet. I am in love with these. They hold huge blocks of fabric together. Like, I am obsessed with these. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that fantastic? It's a whole stack of my pieces, and I just think these are just amazing. I love these so much. And she seems so me, I think. That's what it is. I get this confused all the time. Look up Belle Bruner. She's amazing. Wonderful, wonderful, kind. She's a designer for Ben Artex. She sent these to me, and I'm obsessed with them. And mostly because I love like vintagey looking things anyway, but these are actually like beautiful. Okay, if you know me, you know I'm all about beauty. It needs to be beautiful and functional. We're creating beautiful, functional ideas to make our lives easier, but also I don't want to look at ugly stuff. That's just the way I am. So if you are so inclined, go find her precious. These are just, and they come in a cute little tin that has a sliding lid, and it's just, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with these.
You're gonna link that in the show notes?
Yeah, I will. Will you write that down? And I will link those in the show notes, because, oh my gosh, so good. And she has a new fabric line that she just released out at Quilt Market. I don't know if it's available yet, but I'll find out. I'll ask her. But she's so sweet. Can you give me front camera? Sorry. I feel like I'm talking in Neverland. She reached out to me this week, and she's like, oh my gosh, you've got your first customers with long arming. How's it going? And I'm like, honestly, I can take some more quilts because I'm all caught up. And so she's like, send me your information. I'll put it in my newsletter. And I mean, this community is so beautiful. I just cannot with all these people. Belle Bruner, Bruner, and she is from Arkansas, and I'm from Arkansas, so it makes it kind of fun, like, to know, like, we know the same kind of places, and we're both Razorback fans, and so we get it. So we can all be miserable together. So anyway, any other questions before I go to slideshow?
You repeat where to look for the clips, or we'll just put them in the show notes.
Oh yeah, I'll put them in the show notes. I'll make sure as soon as we get done here, I'll go back and put them in the description. And if you're following me on Instagram, I'll try to link them in there too, so that you guys can find them, because oh my gosh, they're so stinking cute. Okay, let's go to slideshow. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I finally quilted up my sweet. I've quilted it, but I still haven't put the borders on it or the binding on it, and I'm gonna do a white binding, which is weird. You guys have never done a white binding, like ever, 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 ever. But this one to me is just kind of screaming for white binding. So there you go. I did quilt it. I did a crosshatch. I probably wouldn't attempt a crosshatch again anytime soon until I'm more comfortable with it. I just feel like it is so persnickety. And of course, my friend Abby Latimer told me it's like one of the most persnickety pantographs. But I'm going to go try it and see, and it's my quilt. So I'm not going to hurt anybody. It's my quilt. It worked great, but I had places where it was like making me nuts. And so, but I got it done, and I'm going to get this bound probably this weekend and start hanging it up. But I think it turned out lovely. But next week, you're going to want to come back, because there might be something about Harriet's journey coming next week that you're going to want to be here for. So stay tuned. Okay, I had to share this Oh, okay, John, here's what you need to do. Go to properties. Do you see, or yes, and restart capture. Yes, perfect. Good job. This is, oh my gosh, I found this on Facebook Marketplace. I've been obsessed with these. I've been looking for one of the accordion little sewing cabinets like that, and I have not found any that were in good shape. Like they all look like they're about to fall apart. This one looked really pretty, and so I made an offer on it to this lady, and she lives in Inola, like right up the road. And so I met her and got to see it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want this so bad. So I had a little bit of cash saved up, and I was like, I'm buying this. And so it looks so pretty in my studio. Anyway, I just had to share it because it was so beautiful, and it's so old. Okay, here's my Minky stuff. Oh, it's still doing that. I don't know why that's doing that. At least you know what to do. So this is my Minky that I put on the back of the ghost quilt. And the ghost quilt turned out so cute, but I had gone Saturday because he was out of town at the football game. I thought, well, I'll go get some Minky. And I went to one of the local quilt shops, and they didn't carry any Minky. And I'm like, I thought they always carried it at this shop. And so I ended up at Hobby Lobby, but that was meant to be because I found this Minky at Hobby Lobby, and it is to die for. It looks like jeans, but it's Minky, and it looks like denim, and I am obsessed with it. It's stitched out so cute. I cannot wait to sit with my grandbabies and show them this quilt and cuddle under it. But I had to show you the way that looked. And if you look at the next, I think I've got a few pictures of that. Oh, good, it's working. I used a swirly, like a wind. It's called Wind, and I wanted it to have like a wind feel on that pantograph. Just simply because I thought it brought that story to life, because the little ghost quilt, he's flying through the air and he's heavier than the sheets, and it talks about the wind. And so I just thought it was chef's kiss perfect. I loved that pantograph for this quilt. And there's the back of it. Is that not just yummy? Oh my gosh, I cannot even. So, okay. So there's the little ghost quilt. So cute. And I can't wait to read this. This is the new one, the Winter Surprise book. So if you haven't got the Winter Surprise book yet, you can still get that at the Sewing House. And I've got that linked on my Instagram and my link tree. She's got a few books left, but there are no kits left. Sorry. But if you go out to, oh my gosh, what is her name? If you guys know the lady's name that has the pattern for this, it's a free pattern. Just search free pattern for the little ghost quilt, and you'll find it. And I think she asked for your email address because she'll, send it to you. But oh my gosh, super cute, super easy. It's like, I can just tell you literally, it's 8 wide and 10 long. So 5-inch squares. So if you've got some scraps of blue and white, grays, mix them up, throw them in the air, put them back together. It turned out so cute. Okay. I just had to show you my little doggies. Oh my gosh. Tucker basically lives with us more than he lives with his mother lately, which is my daughter. But they were both just snuggled up in my quilt room, and I just thought they were so sweet. So I just had to share. Doggies are the best. We do not deserve dogs. We don't deserve them. They're amazing. Okay, this is one of the quilts that I worked on this week from Melinda, my friend who sent 3 quilts to me to quilt from Texas, and they turned out so good. And I loved collaborating with her. Like when you work with a customer for the first few times, it's really good to get to know like what's their style or what's their vibe, what do they look for. And she sent me these beautiful quilts, and this was a lot of applique, and she had a lot of hand embroidery, and she trusted me with that, and I really appreciated it. And I thought, how does this work? Am I going to mess this up? But I didn't. It was wonderful, and I studied it, and I made sure that it was the perfect pantograph for her, and it matched the feel of the quilt. Is just, oh my gosh, I almost didn't send her quilts back because I just wanted to keep them because they were beautiful. Okay, this is a big picture of it. She did a beautiful job. So I'm sure this is for a lovely couple that just got married last year. So I think it's really great. Okay, then I found out these were potentially scraps, I think, from a fabric swap with Julia with Red Rain boots, handmade. I always get that so screwed up. But I, of course, have lots of her barn quilts in my studio. I love her. She's wonderful. But she does fabric swaps all the time. So if you don't know anything about that, check it out. But that's what that was from. That was a blue and white swap. And I loved quilting that. And then this was the other fabric swap they did. They did a low volume, and they did little red. I think they were calling them, I know they weren't calling them flappers. That's wrong. If you know what I'm talking about, drop it in the chat. But I did a beautiful, this one was screaming, just give me a stipple, give me some good texture, because it just had that vintagey feel. And oh my gosh, when I pulled that off the long arm frame, I was like, I'm not sending this back to her. She's not getting this back. But she did. She got it back. Okay. One of you guys, Debbie, you might be on tonight. I asked her if I could share her picture. This is her, Harriet's journey. And she, of course, went above and beyond. She did more than 25 blocks. These were fabulous. And I said, can I please share this with the rest of the community on here? And she said, of course. So she emailed me that picture, and I just had to share because it is fantastic. So bravo, Debbie. And thank you for sending that in so I could share it with everybody else. No? Oh, is that it? Yep. Okay. Yeah, let's go to slideshow 2. I just wanted to make sure everybody, do we have any questions coming in? While you're looking, you can hit the next one, and you can look, and we can come back. I want to remind you, the sewing house, my friend Jennifer at the sewing house, she only has a few of these left. There are not hardly any left. This is that Santa sack. And so you can go on, I'm going to drop some links in the description so that you can go directly to it. But it's $89.99 plus shipping. This will be like a family heirloom, like forever. You'll get to pass this down to your grandchildren and their kids and their kids. I mean, this will become a thing. It comes with the Santa sack pattern. It comes with the fabric for the outside, for the lining and the bottom of the sack. And it comes with the cording that you need to put it together. She only had a few of those left. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys grab them if you're still wanting them, because she's going to sell out of those probably this week. Oh, and I also had to share this. If you've been a quilter for very long, you probably know Amy Butler. And she was a big designer back in the day. Well, she's back, and she's in full force. And there's not very many quilt shops carrying her stuff right now. But it is so beautiful. She has several different lines available. There's a few different bundles. I want to say there may be 4 or 5. The sewing house is carrying them now. And she's got this bundle, which, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this bundle. I dropped the link in my Instagram story. So if you're interested in that, you can go grab that probably while we're talking. But these are hand painted fabric bundles. And there's 20 unique cuts of these, and they're ½ meter. So it's not ½ yard, it's a ½ meter, which is a little bigger than a ½ yard. You're getting you're getting about 10 yards of fabric in this bundle. But they are soft, color fast, 100% cotton. You can trust when you go to wash it, it's not going to bleed on things. I still would throw a color catcher in because I wouldn't want to mess anything up. But gorgeous. I mean, I cannot get over this fabric. I'm obsessed with it. It is so pretty. So go grab those while they last. I think she sold out of this one, like I think within a couple of days, but she just got a new shipment in. So she may have that one back online. So you'll want to check that out. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew about that. And of course, got lots of fun things coming next week. You're not going to want to miss next week. I'm just telling you, it's going to be amazing. So if you have any friends, any quilty friends, they're going to want to come and see the surprise I have next week too. So make sure you do that. Do you have any other questions or anything before we say goodbye? No other questions? Make sure you like and subscribe. Invite your friends, because we're going to have some fun next week. And I am so thankful for each of you every week that you come and hang out and spend some time with me. But I want you to take some time, rest, relax, make your blocks, make something pretty. See you next week. Bye.